Hello, I'm Jacob. You're watching the Prepper's Bunker Outdoors. Today I'm going to show you how I'm going to do a paracord handle on this Baryonyxe Grimalkin. This isn't the only way to do this handle. It's just the way that I liked best so far, that I think is well within anybody's capabilities to do. Now, before we jump right into that, I want to mention that these holes here are sized so that you can use them with Corby bolts if you want to make an actual handle for this. And Baryonyxe is planning to have an actual handle kit available on their website for this later. So that should be pretty exciting. I'm going to put a link to where you can purchase this knife in the description box below at Whiskey River Art and Trading Company. And while we're speaking about links, below that will be links to how you can support this channel. It is not monetized, so this channel is made possible through sales of tactical and survival handmade gear on my website, beachandtactical.com, mostly stuff that I make myself. I also have an Amazon store where I list high quality items that I use and have reviewed and stand behind. And I do have a Patreon as well where you can get some extra special content and have a say in how the channel is ran. So all of that will be in the description box below. So let's get to it. So what we're talking about here today is an easy way to get started doing your own paracord. And basically the most important thing in this video is how to get started with your paracord and how to finish it. Everything in between is simple, and I'll show you one way to do it. I'm sure that some of you will know other ways to do it, but it seems to me that getting started and finishing it up in a way to keep everything tight and nice are the two hardest steps to this whole process. If you noticed what I just did, I had my paracord put evenly, I split my paracord in half and I folded it over and stuck it through this hole. Then these two pieces of paracord are going to wrap around and go through that hole, and that's going to give me a really strong bite. The first thing I'm going to do once I've accomplished that is pull this tight as I can. Get a really nice tight bite there. Then I'm going to tighten the paracord on either side. See, I lost some of my tension here, so I need to redo this. One thing that we're going to be constantly looking at is making sure that our paracord isn't curled up so that everything lays flat and nice. All right. So again, see here, I'm just pulling this as tight as I can. After which, I'll pull these tight, and everything should hold nice and tight, just like that. All right, now that we're at this point, all I'm going to do, this is not the easiest way to do this, and some people can do this really fast. I think it's easiest to do if you have a vise, but again, making sure my paracord lays flat, I'm just going to bring my paracord over so that both sides go back to the same side. I'll do this again here in just a second because I'm sure that I can show this better. I'm now going to, so now again, making sure my paracord is flat, I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing over again. And I'm going to try and go the same way. So I've got a right piece and a left piece. My right piece is going to go over the left and back to the right side, and the left piece is going to go back to the left side. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip it over and do it again. So I'm always going to try and keep everything even where the knots meet. I'm going to try and keep it all the way down the middle as best as I can. And we're going to, you know, get a pattern going here. So let's see. All right, flip it over again, show you. I'm going to show you this one more time, and then I'll probably skip closer to the end or fast forward or something. So you see last time, my right hand piece went around this way and my left hand piece went around horizontally. I'm going to do the same thing again. My right hand piece is going to go around my left hand and back to the right side, and I'm going to try and match where the knots sit up and down the blade, so it kind of makes a straight line. And voila, I'm done. And again, I'm flipping over and going to the other side. Just like that. So here we are, admittedly well less than perfect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push or pull this paracord through this these slots here to hold it momentarily. The reason being, you want this paracord to be as tight as possible so it doesn't move around on you. This will kind of hold you in place and allow you to push your whole knot upwards. I want to squeeze as many of these knots in here as I can and get them absolutely as tight as I can. You can see that, oh man, you can see that my line isn't perfectly straight here on either side. Right now, I'm okay with that. I might tweak that a little bit coming up here, but I'm not too worried about it. If you are, it's just something that you have to take the time to get perfect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this all up with, I'll show you a knot and a bead. And the bead that I'm going to use is a Gadsden Don't Tread on Me snake from Badass Beads on Amazon. I like these beads. I kind of go back and forth between preferring a heavy bead and a light bead, but for when I want a light bead, these little Gadsden snakes are perfect. All right, so once again, the rest of this whole process is just going to be me pushing these knots up and trying to get them as tight as I can. One tip that was actually given to me by Baryonyxe is when you are completed with the process, getting your paracord wet or damp and then putting it in a place where it will dry rather quickly before it has a chance to rust your knife, of course. They said that something like a windowsill in the sun would work. And so once the paracord is wet and then dries, it'll tighten and stiffen considerably, locking in your knots. All right. I'm actually going to roll this through these loops 2 times. That'll kind of lock us in. This is where a paracord needle could be nice. So I'm going to tighten the crap out of this to the best of my ability on both sides here. And what running it through this loop is going to do is it gives me 2 bites on the metal, which is going to give me a better hold. Alright, come on. There we go. One thing to consider is that if you're doing a paracord handle like this, and you do a kydex sheath for it, your kydex will be specific to the paracord. So if you end up redoing your paracord, you probably end up redoing everything else as well. I'm going to do a simple kind of little overhand knot here just to hold everything tight. Make that a square knot. Yeah, that's a square knot. We're gonna slide our bead on. A little bit of extra Murica there. And then let's see if I have enough room in paracord to do a diamond knot. I don't think I do. If you want to know how to do a diamond knot yourself, this is not going to be the video to figure it out. You're going to have to look that up separately because it can be fairly challenging. At least it is for me. I usually like to have a little more length when I'm doing a diamond knot. My total length on my paracord here was about 6 feet, and I did do it with gutted paracord. So I took all of the paracord out of the inside of the, all the inner strands out before I got started. That lets your paracord lie more flat on the knife, and I think gives you a much nicer finished product, among other things. Full paracord is a lot more difficult to work with. Well, there you have it, guys. I'm going to straighten up this diamond knot, make it a little bit prettier, and bring it up a bit, but there you have it. That is my preferred paracord wrap. I'm going to go get it wet, let it sit. Again, my line through the bottom is not straight. This is not work that I would sell, but it's good enough for me and good enough to show you what to do for yourself. If you want it straighter, then that's just going to be something you're going to have to screw with. The reason that I chose this particular knot is because this width that it gives you to fill the palm. Now, this knife does do a great job with the handle shape of filling your palm even with no paracord on it, but of course having handles on there is going to help it just that much more. Thank you for watching. Please check out the links below. Let me know what you think in the comments section, and I look forward to talking to you. Have a blessed day.